Hi all. Right, back to the action. Um, Things are grim. 12th SS of the 1st SS Panzer Corps just outside Verviers. So I'm pretty sure I've got one more card in my draw pile, and I've not looked through my discard or anything, but I'm pretty sure it's the 5th Corps primary card, which has the Corps artillery, because I'm pretty sure I used that. So what I'm going to do here is, as a last sort of attempt to save Verviers, is play this. Hang on, I'll get up there a wee bit. Yeah, so play this card to activate any one unit, which I haven't done today. Oh, or have I? No, I may have. I've said before about having a wee counter or something, and I did say I was going to try and create something myself as a reminder, because, like I say, if you do it early on, I'm just wondering about that 9th Armoured unit that's down in Bastogne. There's not awful a lot of cards in the discard pile though, so I'm wondering if maybe that happens sooner. Oh well, I hope that's not the case. I'm going to have to look back and find out. Right, give me a sec. Yeah, and I just had a quick look back, but I can remember all the cards. I've got 4 cards in my discard pile. One was used for bug out. One got discarded. This one got discarded to commandos, I'm pretty sure. And then the first impulse we carried out was deploying 18 Corps, and then we activated the 18 Corps with the first army card. So that's the 4 cards in the discard pile. I've used the Corps artillery card twice, so it is obviously the last card in my draw pile. So yes, we've not used the activate anyone unit. So I can't get into Verviers with this because they've got units adjacent. But the fact that I know that it's the 5th Corps card that I'm going to draw, what I'm thinking is move this unit with strategic movement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is really the best I can do, and like I say, I can't move the 9th point into Verviers because well, you're not allowed to move adjacent to a German unit. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Now, right, well, I said I wanted to find something to remind myself. Hang on. Okay, not a great idea, but could probably do with something else. But what I'm going to do is just going to put this cube, like a sugar cube, isn't it? It's from Terraforming Mars as well. I'm going to put that sugar cube on top of my draw pile, to say that I've activated any one unit for the day. So hopefully that will remind me, and even when I draw the last card I can leave it there and then take it away. That's the best just quick thought I can come up with just now. Like I say, probably could do with something in the game, because especially when days and weeks can go by sometimes. Well, I've had a bit of a sort of stall with the game and hit a bit of a wall and wasn't feeling like coming back. Wasn't really in the mood, but anyway, okay, so I've moved to any one unit, and that's basically it. So, oh no, yeah, I've just realised, hang on. Yeah, not something I thought about at the time, but because I've activated any one unit, and it's been a unit from the 5th Corps, it now means that the 5th Corps cannot activate in the next impulse. Yeah, but still have to do it to take to hopefully. I mean, the first SS, they've been through a few cards. They've got 2 division cards in the discard pile and 1 core card. That's not, and the 6th Panzer Army cards away as well. But that's not to say there's not another. Well, the other card, division card, I think it's a Piper card, so I don't think that would apply. But they do have another core card, so we're going to have to avoid that. Their next impulse and their next again impulse. So yeah, it's we're going to need to get a bit lucky with that one, I think. Okay, well, all we can do is give it a try. Yeah? So that's impulse over. That card's going to be discarded, and just to confirm, that's what I'm drawing. So it will let me activate the 5th core units, but not on the next impulse, unfortunately. Okay, let's see if we can get a German impulse, and fingers crossed it's not the first SS. Okay, here we go. Okay. So 7th Army card's going to take priority, isn't it? No primary cards. So that's got a command value of 4. No events on this card, so we're just going to go straight into this. So this is going to activate 7th Army unit with most non-bracketed 7th Army units within 2 hexes and all those units, and then activate reserve units in the same. Now that should be core as active units, and then use artillery tactic with all attacks. Okay, so well, the 7th Army aren't the strongest of the 3, obviously, but right, I'll have a wee look. We're looking for the unit with the most units within 2 hexes, aren't we? Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at the wording on this card again, and I know it was myself that picked up activate reserve units in same division, and that is wrong. That should be core. I'm pretty sure it was John himself come back and confirmed, because I asked that question. But I'm also just looking at the wording on the card there, and it doesn't mean. I'll read out the rule book. It says Army card. You locate the non-bracketed unit in the card's army that has the most non-bracketed units within 2 hexes of the unit. To be included in this count, the units must be in the same army or an OKW unit. If 2 or more units have the same number of units within 2 hexes, use the unit furthest from the army's objective hex as the centre of the activation. Once a unit is located, activate it and all units within 2 hexes, including bracketed units regardless of supply. So what it says in the card, I mean, okay, maybe you do need to come and look at the rule book, but it's not really making that. Maybe I'm being picky there. Yeah, there's only so much information you can put on that card, and there is quite a lot of instructions on it. So maybe it is something you need to then refer to the rules. But it's just, I guess I was thinking about, obviously. I'm looking here, I'm going to activate this. Well, if this was the centre of activation, this 5th Panzer Army unit is going to be activated too. And looking on the card for that information, it's not quite there, but yeah, I may be being a bit picky. Okay, let's find out where the centre of the activation is going to be first. Right, okay, there's 5 units within 85th Corps. There's 2 in here. And there's 5 units within 80 Corps. And they're the 2 corps from the 7th Army. Yeah, because the other corps, what is it, the 53rd? They don't come in yet until a bit later. There are some reinforcements from the army. So anyway, they're the two sets of units. So the thing is, if I target here, I can't grab any of them. Oops. I can't grab any of them. And if I target here, I can't grab any of them. So it's basically grabbing the 585th Corps or grabbing the 580 Corps. So it's, and I'm looking at maybe just, it could be any one of these really. But I'm looking at this one because it's kind of towards the, sorry, hang on. I'll zoom out a little bit. It's closer to the army objective, and that's the reason I'm looking at that. Now, I have to look at that one to grab that, so I need to look at that to get the 5, and I'm looking at that one to get the 5. Well, that one or that one, it doesn't really matter, they're both the same distance away. And the reason I'm looking at that is because the tiebreaker is, if 2 or more units have the same number of units within 2 hexes, usually the unit furthest from the army's objective hex as the centre of activation. Well, these 2 are both 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. And this one, which we have to do to grab that, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, stop, Grant. This one's bracketed. Okay. Just spotted that. That has the most non-bracket. Okay, we've found a way of resolving it then, because there's not another tiebreaker, so I think I would have had to look at the errata for that. So in actual fact, this is only grabbing 1, 2, 3, 4 non-bracketed units, and I don't think, no, there's no non-bracketed units down here. Okay. So we've found what's going to activate, and unfortunately, like I say, it can't grab any of them. These 2, well, actually, the centre activation is going to be furthest from the army objectives hex, isn't it? Okay. Well, I might be looking at that wrong then. So it's probably going to be something like, I just realised I put a dark blue cube on that unit up there. So I'm going to change that to a dark green cube. Get muddled up with my Germans and my allies. Okay, right, back down here. So I think one of these 2 are going to be furthest away, but it's not going to matter. These are all going to activate, so and that's going to be that. And then you've got to remember they also get to use artillery with any attacks that they make. Okay, so right, let's have a look. There's not any roadblocks adjacent. They're now, hang on, they're core, aren't they? Yeah, so they're looking at their core objective. Okay. But this is where it would be. Yeah, so we move. Right, hang on. Right, that's not going to move. That's not going to move. No, the objectives aren't going to move. So we're now looking at moving the units. So look at 9.23, but remember it's units with a core objective marker move according to these rules specific to them. And you check them first. So if it had grabbed some of them, we would check these under 9.23, and then any of them that grab we checked under 9.22 because they've not got a core objective. However, that's not the case. It's just the 80 core units, so they're only looking at their core objective marker, and they're going to move accordingly. Right, so let me have a look. Okay, so this is the first unit in ascending order to move, and they want to move adjacent to an allied unit that's within 3 of his army, his core objective, which the core objective is in here. These are both the same distance away, And if that's the case, he wants to move to the easternmost unit. So this is just eastern of that. And then if able to reach more than one hex, surround the unit, then unoccupied hex, then to the easternmost hex. So we can't... Oh, hang on, I'm forgetting he's dispersed, isn't he? But he's still the target. I'm forgetting he's dispersed though. So yeah, so he's not exerting zone of control. So we could technically go 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2 into there. So all these hexes are possible. They're all... I don't think any of them, even that one's not going to surround this guy. So the easternmost out of them is going to be this hex here. So I think that's where he's going to... Oops. I'm going to go 1... you know what? You can actually go 1, 2, 3. Just grabbing a detachment there, I suppose. Whether it makes a lot of odds or not. So the next one would be this guy. So same deal. He's want to move adjacent to this guy. Now again, he can't surround them. 1, 2. He could get to here, but it's not quite surrounding him. No. So again, he's wanting an empty hex. So he's got here, here, or here. These are the two that are easternmost. Okay, so... Oh, hang on, I'm forgetting he's armoured, isn't he? Yeah, didn't actually notice that. I thought he was infantry. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he still can get in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, he actually can't get in here, can he? That's a pity, because it was bringing up quite a interesting question. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Oh well, you know what? Let's not revisit the question. If it comes up again, Grant, we'll go for that. So he can't actually get to this hex. So he can only get to here or here, and this one's going to be easternmost. So he's going to move into there. Now, moving away from here, obviously it would let this unit come across into here, but the restriction is do not move if doing so would create a condition in which Allied supply is traceable to an empty German town city or west wall hex. Again, Allied supply is not traceable there, so it can trace into... Right, sorry, I got a phone call there, so this is going to have to get joined on in that last part. Right, I was just double checking where I was though, and it was obviously concerning supply, Allied supply, is it traceable to this hex? And I said, well, it can trace into this hex, but there's no road attached here, so... and it can't trace across to here because again there's no road, so there's no problem in this armoured unit moving from here to here. So on to unit 5, and just having a quick look, he can actually get right round here. So the priority about trying to surround the unit, obviously this is his closest unit, so he's wanting to become adjacent to it, so he can go 1, 2, 3. Remember, this guy's dispersed, so doesn't have zone of control, so right around the back and surround the guy, so he'll go there. Next unit is unit number 6. Now he's coming across this unbridged river, so hang on. Okay, so he's going to come across the river. I mean, he's just as close to that unit as he is to that unit, so potentially I suppose he could go into either of these hexes, couldn't he, if we're going to play it by the book. It can't get adjacent to the allied unit because it's crossing the Umbridge River. Oh, wait a minute. Ah. Now, yeah, it can actually, can it? Just as well I mentioned that then, because... Nah, hold on. So it's looking for an allied unit when 3 hexes is the core objective, which all these 3 units are. If more than one, move towards the nearest, well, both these are as near away, and then the easternmost. So he is going to still want to move towards this guy, so even though he can get adjacent to him, yeah, I think it's still got to consider this as its target. Its focus. This is where it's wanting to focus on. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So if it that's still going to be as close as that, but you know what? Hang on. Okay, there's probably not an awful lot in this, but you know, if I am going to follow what I see how the rules are, and you know, there is a slight debate again because we're looking at core objective, and we've got zoom out a little bit. The army objective markers along here. Then we want to move closer to this. So, like I say, we can move into either one of the hexes, but that's where 9.23 really stops. It's not a tiebreaker for that. So then you would have to consider, and to be honest, this is the thing that came up before, because I asked this question ages ago as well, and I never got an answer. This was part of the question. I'd asked 9.22 is the tiebreaker as well. It doesn't really state that they are part of it, like 9.23 would follow the 9.22 tiebreakers. I think you've got to assume that yes, they still come into it. It's just the way that they're laid out in the rule book, because 9.22 is obviously before 9.23. There's no mention of that. So, however, anyway, I think they do, but I never really got the answer. So the tiebreakers are, if there's more than one destination hex, closest to the army objective, well again we've got this argument, but they're both the same. They would, if it was core objective, army objective, they're both the same. So then the next part of the tiebreaker is furthest in the compass direction. Well, that is targeting the army objective. So, you know, okay, let's look at the army objective. It says west. Now, then that means that this hex is wester. There's more to the west than this one, just by half a hex. So I'm going to go with that, and we're going to grab a detachment for there. So that's how I think it should be. Okay, let's move on. The last unit number 7. And again, there was no issues in him coming across. Ally supply can't be traced to any of these hexes. So, right, so unit 7. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's his nearest unit. So, and he's wanting to try and get to an empty hex. 2, 3. He could get to here, but he could also get to here. The unit's already surrounded, so he's going to go easternmost hex. So 1, 2, 3. There. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think is going to happen. So that's all the movement done. So let's see if there's going to be a combat. So we're looking at selector number 2 to start with as the lead unit. Now we do actually have assault coordination as a support card, but all these units are active anyway, so there's not any other units that we're considering. They're all active units attacking anyway, or could be attacking. So we've got a strength of 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 10 against 2. Now he's in a clear hex, which isn't good for him. He's dispersed, which also isn't good for him. So 10 against 2. In a clear hex is -1. 10 against 1. And then he's also dispersed. So you might think it takes it down to 0, but there's a minimum situational strength of 1. So it's 10 against 1. So we've got 10 to 1 odds. So this attack's going to happen. And this is also an overwhelming attack, which means that we don't consider the support card combat tactic, I think. Okay, distracted again there. Sorry. So situationally it was 12. No, it wasn't 12. 10, wasn't it? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Situationally it's 10 to 1. With 10 to 1 odds, yeah. Okay. So the attack automatically goes ahead, right? So we're not. I think it still is going to be overwhelming odds, but so attack goes ahead. Yeah. And now you would apply combat tactics, but now we need to check the actual odds. Right, did I blunder with this before? Because for some reason I thought the overwhelming German attack just maybe didn't consider just the support card combat tactic, but no, I must have looked at this before. German overwhelming attack. If a German attack is odds of 9 to 1 or greater and qualifies as a large attack, well actually, you know what? It's probably not then. Do not draw a card for the attack and do not apply the support card's combat tactic to the attack. Well, yeah, I'm not quite sure it is going to. So we've got 10 to. Yeah, no, it's not, though, is it? It's not an overwhelming attack. Because that was just the situational check, wasn't it? So it's 10 strength against 2 strength. We don't take anything away, so it's only 5 to 1 odds. Right, okay. So 5 to 1 odds. So yeah, and it's also, it wouldn't be classed as a large attack at the moment as well. If we did for some reason have 91 odds, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 chip pools, 1 for that, 5, 1 for the artillery that we're getting from the army card is only 6, so it wouldn't be classed as that. However, we don't need to be checking that. So 5 to 1 odds, so we are drawing a combat tactic. We draw reinforced battle. I don't think that's happening, is it? No, there's nothing that can reinforce. None of these units can get down. And then the support card has, take that back. I'm thinking it isn't going to apply. But, and this was a question that I remember seeing that people were talking about, that they thought it wouldn't get used because it's assault coordination, right? So it's not introducing any more units to the combat. Because these guys are all attacking. I mean, if there'd been a unit here and a unit or a unit there, maybe from another corps, then obviously it would bring them into battle. But all these are in the battle already. But the reason it is used is because what's the word I'm trying to find here? The bonus combat tactic is awarded only if it provides a benefit to the attacker. And what we all know, well, sometimes we know, is that assault coordination yes, it allows other units, all units adjacent to the target, to be involved in the attack. But if it's German attack, which it is, it reduces the total hits incurred by the Germans by 1. So that is why it gets used. And I know that because John Butterfield replied to that thread within, saying that the question that I'm thinking about anyway. I'm sure if you had a look, you'd find it, that he said that this is a benefit because it reduces any hits that they would get by 1. In this case, maybe not, but you never know. We might get something going. It's probably unlikely, but so okay, that's good for me actually, because it means I can wrap this impulse up quicker, because I thought I was going to have to activate this. So I should be able to get this finished before another pause. So we're still 5-1 odds. Right, chip pools now are 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 for the 3-step units, 5. 1 for the Salt Coronation, 6. 1 for the Reinforced Battle, 7. 1 for the Artillery from the Army card is 8. So we've got 8 chip pools with 5-1 odds. Right. Now, hang on, we're dispersed. I think that means we can play a combat tactic, can we? Oh yeah, the downside to being dispersed is hold on here. The attacker may disregard 1 attacker hit. Now, hold on a minute. Did I not see something regarding this? Yeah, because I looked up this question before. I think when it says that they disregard 1 hit, it's just 1 hit, whereas this assault coordination provides a 1 hit reduction. Dispersal would provide a 1 hit reduction. I get the feeling it's only just goes down to the 1, which would then mean that maybe this combat tactic wouldn't be an extra benefit to the attack, or oh dear, right, okay. I'm gonna have to look into that one. I'd left things overnight since having to go and look what I was thinking about here, because I didn't have much time left. Thought I was going to be able to finish it quickly, and then this cropped up and popped into my head, and I thought, oh, what's going on here? So to get back to it, it was my concern about there only being 1 reduction in hit depending on the status of the unit, and I thought assault coordination might come into that. Well, I went away and looked at what I was thinking about, and it was a question I had posted, but it was about the German solo, so it's starting to blend in a little bit, and it was regarding the status of the unit, because dispersal reduces 1 hit, out of fuel reduces 1 hit, and what was it, out of supply reduces 1 hit. And I think in the German solo game for a wee while there, I had played that they were cumulative. You could add them up, but the way it's written in the rulebook, there's one part it's written where you think it would be added up, and then there's another bit under hit total adjustments. Well, I've just found it in the Allied solo as well, and it is there as well. It's under 12.5 combat hits, and it's the second part. It's called hit total adjustments, and it says if all defending units are any combination of dispersed, out of supply, or out of fuel, the total number of attacking hits is reduced by 1. So it's not, you wouldn't reduce it by 3 there. You would reduce it by 1. We've only got a dispersed situation, but I started thinking, because I was thinking that, right, that reduces it by 1, assault coordination would reduce the hits by 1, and it got me thinking down that track, about the other part. But I'm pretty sure, I never had this situation where it was a dispersed unit and an assault coordination. Because remember, if that wasn't benefiting us, it would stay in the support card box and get used later. But there's the two separate bullets. So that is the one about if all defending units are blah 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 blah, reduce the hits by 1. And then the bottom bullet is if conducting a German attack with assault coordination combat tactic, hits to the attacker are reduced by 1. So I'm pretty sure they are cumulative. So they will reduce the German hits by 2. Now you might think, well, it seems like a bit of a waste using that. This unit's dispersed, blah blah. But you've got to follow. That's the AI rules. I mean, it is more than likely this card playing it for what it's been played for is more than likely going to be a waste. But however, that's how it says. And also when I was watching this back, I started having this strange thought about had I picked this. Well, I was starting to see it as a Kampfgruppe again in the German solo game, and obviously, like I say, it's starting to blend in a little bit. Some of the rules, maybe just because I've had that wee spell of a week or so away, it's I'm lost a bit. And then I started thinking, I was looking at activating this 7th Army, but I was selecting a unit to do it. And then I was saying to myself, well, I don't need to actually select a unit, I can just select a hex and then it's 2 hexes from there. That is how the German solo works at Kampfgruppe, but it isn't how it's worked with the army card in the Ally Somo. The army card says locate the non-bracketed unit in the card's army that has the most non-bracketed units within 2 hexes of the unit. So fortunately I did do this right, well, at least I hope I did, because I did start thinking I might have been involving 1 or 2 of these units and 1 or 2 of these units, but to be honest, this is more beneficial to the Germans. If it's split between a couple of the units and a couple of the units, it wouldn't be as good for them, so maybe it's done that way. And also maybe to make it slightly simpler than the Kampfgruppe idea within the German solo. Okay, sorry if it's a bit noisy again, but it's really hot today, so yeah, I had to have the window open. Okay, so I think we're all good with that. Assault coordination is going to get played, so that's us got odds of 5-1. 8 chip pools. They're going to get to ignore 2 hits. Now, the other thing about dispersed is I can only retreat the unit 1 hex, and I can't use combat tactics, so I can't play a card at all. So we just need to then move on to the next step, which is draw some combat chits. So 8 chip pools, right? Got them set up. Okay, there we go. I think that's pretty much a massacre. This was the second chit I pulled. It's got city on the other side, and then I thought, we're in a town, but it's a clear town, so I suppose it could have been worse. It could have been clear, which would have been detrimental, I'm sure, but it's not got town on it, so it wasn't applicable. 2 dispersed unsupplied are going to count, cancelling the 2 hits, but they were going to reduce 2 hits. I don't think I need to count any of that up. This guy's finished, he's gone, and the Germans are taking no hits, so I'll just clear everything away there and see about advanced after combat. Yeah, so it was D7. He could only retreat 1 hex 2, and when he retreated, he was actually taking the step loss. So I think they only needed 1. Oh well, we were soaking 1 up for the town, I suppose. So he needed D2, I think. Okay, so he's eliminated. He was in the limited units box. There's only the 1 unit there, so no more victory points as of yet. Right, advance after combat. Let me see. Yeah, so this guy's considered first. It's his forward direction, so he is going to go in there, and that's him going to take that town. I'll put that down the bottom, put the core objective on top. Now there's still going to be a couple of units within 3 of it come the next time these guys activate, so that won't be moving still. Okay, so what we got next? Unit 3, well that's a forward direction as well, but there's already a unit advanced into there. So it would advance on a, give me a sec. Yeah, so he's going to advance on a 1 to 6. This is mechanised as well, isn't it? Okay, he'll advance on a 1 to 6. And it's just a 6, so he's going to advance. Now, he's the only unit that could possibly advance the second hex. 3, 4, 5. So, primary arrow is there. Yeah, I think he's going to go for that, isn't he? There's no path of retreat, so he wants to follow the primary arrow, and there's nothing stopping him from doing that. So yes, I believe he's going to advance. So next unit would be unit 5. Well, that's well, hang on, it's not another route, it's into a town, isn't it? It's into a town, or closer to your army objective. Well, there you go, argument again. Is this considered their army objective, or is it the one that says army objective? Okay, well, it's into a town as well, and that's the same priority as the army objective. So a unit already advanced into there, so he would move in on a 1 to 3. I got a 4, so that's a no. I'm assuming this guy will be the same. Yeah, so on a 1 to 3 he'll advance in. He's got a 2, so he's going to advance in. And that'll be that. Yeah, so I think that's their impulse over. 7th Army, they've all had a move, they've all done something. Yeah. So yeah, that's their impulse over. So I'll tidy things up there, and we'll move on to an allied impulse. I'm just going to cut this one here though, just to so I can join the videos up in a better way. But I'm probably coming straight back for another wee shot. Now the good thing there, we did avoid the first SS activating again, so we've still got that unit outside Verviers, but remember we can't activate that unit on our next impulse. We've got to wait until the next again impulse, so we still have a German impulse to get through. So again, just need to keep our fingers crossed. Okay, I'll back with an allied impulse soon, guys. Okay, cheers.